So yes, I'm Belle, that's the first thing to say, Belle Tindall. I'm from Pembrokeshire. Pembrokeshire is home, Little England, as all my English friends call it, which really annoys me, but there we go. I grew up going to Mount Pleasant Baptist Church down there. You know, if anyone's been on holiday to Pembrokeshire, they might have fallen into there. And now I live in Bristol. I've crossed that big bad bridge. And I live in Bristol, and I am a writer, a podcaster, and a speaker, and a biblical scholar on a good day. So I did a doctorate in biblical studies because that's my one true love. And now I work in Lambeth Palace, so for the office of the Archbishop of Canterbury. And I say office because there is not an Archbishop of Canterbury right now. And I work for a centre called the Centre for Cultural Witness. So what we do is we write about, speak about, create content about Christianity for people who are not Christians, but are curious for whatever reason. So we try and speak to culture, about Christianity, about who we are, about what we believe, about why we believe it. And we try and do that in language and in ways and in formats that's really accessible. But also we try and listen to culture. So we try and listen to the stories that they're telling about themselves and the questions we're asking and the art that we're making and the arguments we're having and all of that thing, and just try and show how Jesus has something to say about all of those things. So I passed my cycling proficiency when I was in primary school without ever riding a bike, which I think is quite impressive. I had never ridden a bike in my whole life and yet somehow passed my cycling proficiency. I had to do it all on foot. I had to run down the street and do my cycling proficiency that way. And that's one of my biggest embarrassments, so not many people know that. Well, that's quite a shallow answer, isn't it? I guess a deeper answer that not many people know about me now, because I do so much speaking about Christianity to people who aren't Christians, I think people assume that I've always been all right at that and that comes naturally to me. And I guess the thing that not many people know is that I've always found that incredibly difficult. And actually that is not something that comes naturally to me. And actually I really have to trust God when he tells me that his power is made perfect in my weakness, literally on a daily basis when it comes to that, because I do not find it easy. And so I guess not many people know that about me, or would be surprised to find that out, that actually for the vast majority of my life, speaking about Jesus to people who don't know him has been a huge weakness and has somehow become my full-time job. I can now, but I only learned in my 20s. So actually it's probably debatable. I can get from A to B, but not with very much flair. Oh, so many things. I mean, firstly, like I said, I grew up going to a Baptist church. So I think the Baptist, I'm a tapestry of traditions. I'm a mosaic of denominations. I am a hybrid, to understate it. But I think the Baptist denomination will always feel and be home, and it will always feel like family whenever I'm at an event of yours or of ours, I should say. It will always feel like a returning, a coming home, a familiarity and a family feel. So I'm looking forward to that. I also love, and again I feel like I can say this with some confidence because of my sort of zoomed out perspective, I love the way that Baptist churches in particular root themselves in community and in locality and in neighbours and in really on the ground up. I love that, and that's not always a given with churches, and I love that culture with Baptist churches, that it is a grassroots, bottom up love of home, love of place, love of community, love of neighbour. And I guess the other thing would be that it's Pentecost weekend, and so it's really exciting to properly mark that weekend and to really spend some time sitting in it, in what it meant then and what it means now, delving into the person of the Holy Spirit. I heard someone call him the familiar stranger recently, and I love that. So that opportunity as well, to spend a whole day sitting in his presence and learning about his presence at the same time, will be a joy. Yeah, that's a very, very good question. I think what I'm finding interesting right now, sort of in this cultural moment, is that the opportunities are the flip side of the obstacles. which is really interesting. So, for example, a real opportunity right now for the church is that people under 30 are more spiritually curious than ever. No, that's an overstatement. Not than ever, but they're certainly more than the 3 generations before them. They are incredibly spiritually curious. They like existential yearnings on their sleeves, and they're really open about it. So they are more likely than previous generations to go seeking for spiritual experiences. Now that's an obstacle for us because they will look elsewhere. They will look here, there, and everywhere, trying to satisfy their hearts. That's an obstacle. But it's also a massive opportunity for us because we believe that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, that he is where they will find their spiritual satisfaction, that he is where they'll find their meaning, their worth, their rest. He is where they'll find their unconditional love. And so it's both an obstacle and a colossal opportunity that makes me particularly excited. And the other one would be the knowledge. Again, I'm thinking about younger generations in particular, and this is a sweeping statement, but I think the knowledge that people have about the inner workings of Christianity is relatively low right now. You could think that that's an obstacle because they don't have a basic understanding of some of the things we believe, and in a way that is an obstacle. We can't presume any prior knowledge. But in another way, that's a humongous opportunity because it means that we are presenting them with a Jesus they know nothing about, and the joy and the excitement of being able to do that is huge in this moment. So that's what I mean. It's like the obstacles and opportunities are like one in the same, and you know. But yeah, it's an exciting time. I really truly do believe that. I would love us to come away from that day more thankful for the Holy Spirit than ever, I think. More thankful that he makes us community and he makes us family and he binds us together than ever. But also with a confidence, a real confidence in the message that we have, and a confidence to be able to keep the main thing for us, you know, to have a bullseye at the heart of our message, and to know that bullseye is the best news, that Jesus is the best news, and so to go away really encouraged by that on a personal level, just filled up with his presence and with his spirit, but with a confidence to know that when we leave that, you know, that day, that it will overflow into the days, the weeks, the months, the whatever to come. Yeah, I think that's what I'm excited about.